Hello, it is Reviews Day Tuesday, and today I am going to talk about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I finished playing this game on Twitch last week. I don't often review the games that I play on Twitch, but I found the experience of playing this one particularly interesting, so I wanted to this time. A short note before we start, this review will contain very mild spoilers, but definitely no major ones, so it should be fine to watch this video if you haven't played the game yet, but if you want to go in with absolutely no prior knowledge at all, please don't watch this video. Fallen Order is an action-adventure game released at the end of 2019. It is set in the Star Wars universe after Revenge of the Sith. In this game we follow Cal Kestis, a young Jedi who is being chased through the galaxy by two Inquisitors. When I started this game I didn't get on very well with it, to be honest. My first stream, so the first 2.5 hours of playing the game, I found it very difficult and frustrating. I was playing on normal difficulty and I kept dying. In this game they do something interesting which I haven't come across before, but apparently it's not super rare. One, when you use a save point, enemies respawn, and two, when you die, when you are defeated in battle, you are returned to your previous save point, but you lose any XP that you have earned since then, and the only way to get it back is to go up against the enemy that defeated you again. So I kept dying to this creature, and all of the creatures that I had previously defeated kept returning, and I had to keep going up against the enemy that defeated me over and over again. You know, normally I'd just try and go around them and come back when I had more experience, but I felt like I had to keep going back because I wanted my stuff back. So yes, from the second stream onwards I lowered my difficulty, I went to easy mode, and from then on I died less and I found the game less stressful and frustrating. And it was also less challenging, that is true. I mainly died to the terrain after that. There wasn't the most jeopardy in combat, but I want to enjoy the game I'm playing. I want to have a fun time, so I will sacrifice a bit of peril so that I can have a more fun, relaxed gaming experience every day of the week. Secondly, in my short list of things that I found a bit iffy with the game to start with, I didn't find the map in this game to be the most helpful in the world. It would give me a vague idea of where I was going, and when I was in a new area and I was trying to get somewhere for the first time, I generally found it okay, and sometimes didn't even need the map at all. But when I was visiting a planet that I'd been to before and the map was pretty much all unlocked, I would struggle a bit to get from one end of the planet to the other. I just had so much trouble figuring out the way. I did like, however, that places that you hadn't unlocked yet and could were in green, but places that you couldn't unlock yet were in red. Saved a lot of time, saved a lot of backtracking. Really useful mechanism that I wish was more common. I also agree to like that the map wasn't visible on screen all the time. I tend to go the other way. I tend to like, you know, knowing when I'm going in the right direction at all times. But I did find it a bit more immersive, maybe is the word. You could just sort of go on your way without thinking about it so much. Now onto the areas where I really loved the game. I really enjoyed the story and the plot. It wasn't overly complicated. I thought that it sat well in the overall Star Wars universe. It had excitement and shocks and it was entertaining. And I loved the characters. One of my favourite things about this game is the character development. Cal himself is a little bit more of a blank slate, but I found that the game really excelled with the supporting characters on both the light and the dark side. I loved the Mantis crew, the relationships that built up throughout the course of the game. I liked Seer especially. I felt like her story was the most interesting to me, and BD1, who I loved immediately, and Merrin as well, who I think had my favourite arc in the game. The game looks amazing, the setting, the planets, the characters, the combat also looks great. I thought it was a really beautiful and impressive looking game, and it's also a very enjoyable game to play. Once I got over those first hurdles I loved playing. There was a nice amount of variety, there were quests, there was exploration, there were puzzles, there was combat. In my opinion, none of them went on too long. I did get stuck on a couple of puzzles, but I always get stuck on the puzzles. I'm not very good at puzzles, and I loved all the rewards that you could find while playing, both in terms of extra story bits and also all of the customization options that you could unlock. I loved the customization options for the lightsaber especially. It was a really great element of the game. In terms of the ending, I did find it a little rushed. I loved the ending in terms of characters, story, shock, excitement. Loved it, but it did go a little quickly for my liking. It went from, it looks like we're working towards the end game now, to end credits in half an hour. It was quite quick for me. So anyway, I really enjoyed this game. I very much recommend it. I had initial issues, but once I lowered the difficulty and changed my playstyle a little bit, I had so much fun, and now it's become one of my favourite games that I have played. I think I'd put it in the top 5. So I will give Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 4.7 out of 5. That is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know what you thought about Fallen Order if you have played it. Do let me know in the comments below. But for now, let's move across to the end screen. If you'd like to see my latest video or some more reviews, then you can do so below me here. And if you're interested in subscribing to my channel or visit my website, then you can do so beside me here. Also, there is a link to my Patreon page in the description below. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon.